Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. Welcome to the community. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. And if you're a returning member of the community, I am happy to see you again, okay? So without any further ado, let's get right to the topic of this week's video, and that is prints. So if you don't know, I'm going to tell you now. As any level artist, whether you're just starting out, you're intermediate, or you're a high-level working artist that's been doing it for years, prints are the number one thing, the number one most important commodity that you have and that you will sell. Even when you get to a level where you're doing shows full-time, the number one thing that you're going to be selling is your prints. And your prints get you commissions, your prints get eyes on your work, so people will refer new clients to you and they get your work out there. Prints are critical. Being able to create high quality prints and to be able to sell them and price them correctly, package them correctly, all that kind of stuff, that's what this series is going to be about. And my initial thought with the thing was I was going to do this all in one video, and quickly realized that was going to get way out of hand time-wise. If I did that, it was going to be like a 3 or 4 hour long video. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to make a 3 hour long video. I'm pretty sure you don't want to watch a 3 hour long video. So instead, what I've done here is almost like a college course is kind of how I'm viewing this. I've broken the whole print process into, it's going to be a 4-part series, and the first one is going to premiere next Saturday, the 14th at 7:30 a.m. and then subsequently every Saturday thereafter, the videos will be out, and it'll be the 4 parts. And so I'll talk about that, and let's get into what the first video will be, okay? So the first video is going to be the basics. So I'm going to talk about pricing, sizing, packaging, my philosophy, my basic philosophy on prints, and what I think is important to have in a print, and some basic things like that. We're going to talk about the sealers that I use, the mat boards that I use, the promo material that I use, the photo paper, everything that goes into packaging and making and presenting a professional quality, not just print, but the whole package of the thing is really important. And we're going to talk about all of that, and that'll be the first video, the basics. And so that'll give us like a starting point, and then we'll go from there. The next Saturday, we're going to be talking about image and how to capture a high quality image. And to me, the number one most important thing with your print is going to be the image. If you don't have a good quality image to start with, you're kind of going to be struggling. You're going to be fighting an uphill battle the whole time. It's very little you can do realistically to turn a bad or subpar image into a superior print. So we're going to talk about image, how to capture a good image, whether you take photographs, whether you scan your work, and I've got some really good tips. One in particular that it took me a lot of years to figure out, and that's in regards to how to scan and get larger scale work, how to get good quality scans and good quality images with larger scale work, because almost all of my work is huge. I put a lot of detail and there's a lot of stuff in my work, so even the 5x7 prints that get shrunk down are usually like 4 or 5 feet pieces. I have one piece that's almost 9 feet long. It's crazy. Callie and I have a really fun story about how we got that one home from the framer. But anyway, so I have a very specific tip on how to do that it took me a lot of years to figure out, that I don't think a lot of people know. So we're going to talk about image, how to get a good image, and how to start the actual process of making the print now that we know how to package it and all that. Okay, and then the subsequent Saturday is going to be equipment. So we're going to talk all about equipment, and I'm going to talk about outsourcing versus making your own prints in-house. And I will tell you that I do all of my prints. Right now I'm doing them from home, but I'll bring everything into the studio so that you can see it all. So I do them all myself, so that should tell you a little bit about what my stance is on that, or what my thoughts are on that, outsourcing versus making them yourself. But we'll talk about the pros and cons of both, and I will break down all of the equipment that I use from, I have a high-end professional printer, and we'll talk about the software that I use and the scanner that I use, and we'll talk about the equipment, and I'll link to all of the stuff, all of the physical stuff that I'm talking about, whether it be the mat boards or the sealers or the photo paper or the printer. And the videos, I'll put direct links so you can go check some of this out yourself and see the stuff that I actually use, and you can see what the prices are and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be equipment, and then the last part, the fourth video, we will culminate with a real-time run-through of me making a print in the studio. Like I said, I'll bring all the equipment into the studio, and I'll open up the computer screen, and I'll show you the software that I use, the settings that I use, and I'll get the printer out. You can see it come off the printer in real time, so you see what it looks like, and I'll show you how that all works. That's probably the one that I get asked about the most. I was getting asked about this for years, even before I started a YouTube channel, is people are very interested in the process of making your own prints, which makes sense. So I'm going to show you all of it. My basic concept is the same with this print series. I just want to share with you the tools that have worked for me, and you can pick and choose what you like, what you don't like, how you approach it. My goal here isn't to dictate to you and say this is how you do it and do it just like me, it's the only way. What I'm trying to do is just share knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge. I've been doing this for almost 12 years full time, either as a tattoo artist or as a fine artist, so probably longer than that actually. Anyway, so I have a lot of knowledge. A lot of it is stuff that I've learned the hard way because I've screwed up, hitting my head against the wall, figuring out what works, what doesn't work. And my goal here is basically just to kind of open up my brain and spill all of the information out, so that you have all of the tools that I have, basically. So when it comes time for you to make your own prints, you understand what's important and how to actually do it. Okay? So if this ends up being a successful series and it is popular and I feel like it's helping people, then I want to go ahead and do some more of these. I'll do a 4-part breakdown of a commission oil piece from start to finish. We'll start with prepping the canvas. We'll go through the underpainting, the process, the painting process and techniques, and then the varnishing and framing and how you ship it and all that kind of stuff. Similar kind of thing I want to do for getting into shows, how to talk to managers and promoters, how to get premium booths before other people do, how to set your booth up, what are the most efficient ways of doing the shows, how I lay my table out. We're going to be doing some real-time vlogging. Well, Callie's got a full-time nanny job now that has healthcare and everything, so I'm going to be doing all the shows by myself this year. But I'll show you, I'll vlog from the road, and you can help me keep me company, and I will show you the process of setting up for shows and everything like that. So it should be fun. Share with you some of these things that actually happen day to day in the life of a working artist. So an enormous amount of time, effort, energy, and resources are going into these videos. So please do like them, subscribe, share, hit the bell, but more importantly, just watch. That would really help me to justify the amount of time I'm putting into these, because even though my channel is monetized and I make money off these videos, I actually have to take time away from my own commission work and my own projects, which I am making infinitely more on those than I am on making these videos. So, but these are a labor of love. I have a passion for doing this, and I just want to know that they're useful and helpful, and then it's worth it for me. Okay, so I think that's about it. Tune in next Saturday the 14th, 7:30 a.m. We're going to talk about the basics. We'll get into all of the stuff that I talked about before: pricing, packaging, sizing, and all of the equipment the gear that I use to package prints with the exact brands and everything, sealers, mat boards, all that good stuff. So tune in next week. I thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me, and I will see you soon.